welcome to Studies in Theatre MOOC program. Today I am going to discuss with you writing. Let us continue it from the previous discussion on reviews. In today's discussion also, I am going to take you forward into certain other aspects of writing critiques and reviews for theatre. As I told you about the ethics of reviews, now today I am going to give you the tips for writing balanced and insightful reviews. So, maintain objectivity. This is the first thing. Strive to maintain objectivity in your review by evaluating the production based on its merits rather than the personal biases or preferences. Approach each review with an open mind and a willingness to engage with material on its own terms. You need to be free from all kinds of biases. Your review has to be objective. If you have a biased representation in your review, then there is no point in reviewing it. It is just a reaction. And reactions are generally biased and subjective, whereas reviews are not. Reviews are objective. So approach every review with an open mind and willingness to engage with material on the terms that it has been created, not on your terms. Always give a consideration to the context of the play, the broader context surrounding the production, including the playwright's intentions, historical background, cultural relevance, and understanding the context in which the play was created is always going to give you very important insights, because you need to remove your prejudices and you need to also understand the themes, the characters, and underlying messages. So, this is the context which is crucial. Then, give the analysis of the context. Don't just keep it to yourself that you understand it, share it in your review, because that will help the readers to understand the significance of the production that you are reviewing. And they will also be able to put it and place it in the larger theatrical landscape. So explore how the play fits into contemporary trends, traditions, and innovations in theatre, and how relevant that play is for social, political, cultural issues that are engaging the audience, that are that are impacting the readers for whom you are writing the review. Then support your analysis with examples from the production, such as memorable scenes, standout performances of certain actors, striking design elements. Use vivid language and descriptive imagery to paint a vivid picture of the theatrical experience for your readers. You know, if you must have read some reviews in newspapers, they have very different language. Their language is not like the language of editorial articles. Their language is not like the language of newspaper reports. They have a very different, the language is very packed with meanings. It is succinct. It has a lot of imagery. It paints a picture in front of your eyes. Imagery should be descriptive. So these are the elements that you have to keep in mind while writing review. Then criticism should be there, but praise should also be there, because obviously you will find something praiseworthy in a review. And generally, first of all, we praise and then we criticize. That is the principle of offering your criticism. But have a balance between the two if possible. If it is such a production where you don't find anything wrong and you have too little to criticize, then of course you can go like that. And it's the vice versa. Maybe you have very little to praise for, then also you can go on like that. But try and find out a kind of a balance between the two. Maybe there are some excellent aspects of technique and design which you must talk about. Maybe there is a very good storyline and adaptation and dialogue writing that has been done. So think of anything which you can praise and think of those things which you can criticize. Then moving on, there are things like how to engage with the material. So engage deeply with the material by probably attending the rehearsals, participating in the post-show discussions, because many times now the playwrights and the dramatists are available for discussions. Then there are directors and actors after the play are also available for discussions. These kinds of activities are increasing in theatre now. So conduct some research on the play, how its themes have been formulated, how people behind this play have worked together. So immerse yourself in that play, in the world of that production. That will totally change your persona as a writer, as a reviewer. This will be visible in your write up, because if it is very cosmetic, your approach is just from outside, exterior, then it will not be that kind of a review which we should recommend to people. Creative process needs to be respected. You know, uh, doing theater is a creative process. It is the hard work of the artists, designers, and performers. They are involved in the production. They are involved. They are working hard, and we cannot cut right or be, terse and negative about such kinds of things. They may be criticized for something that we do not agree with, but that has to be very impactful. So your create appreciation for creative process will inspire others around you, your readers, because you're writing for readers. They will appreciate the growth and of the plays, theater work, theater culture. This will therefore enrich the theater culture. So rather than the criticism which is all the time undermining, and that leaves people with some bad taste in their mouth and discourages them from going ahead with some experiments, so that will not lead to encouragement of theater culture. So you have to see as a reviewer what will be the impact of your work on people. Transparency and honesty are very important for reviewing. If people are not transparent, if people are not honest, they should rather not write reviews. Because as I shared with you this episode about somebody who wrote without acknowledging the playwright, uh, that shows that when you are looking to assess somebody's work, you are not you are not personalizing it as your property, or plagiarizing it, or this is a creative property. You cannot claim it as your ideas, as your thoughts. So acknowledge the potential conflicts of interest or personal biases that may influence your review. Maybe you have been friends with the director. Maybe you know the playwright very well. You have had a party together before you went to watch the play. So think of these things, how these things could impact. And how will you manage these things? Well, there is no harm in having friends. We cannot stop ourselves from reviewing our friends' works. But will you be able to maintain honesty? Will you be able to maintain transparency? If yes, then go ahead. But if you are not, then better not do it. That is advisable. Invite dialogues and discussion by, maybe because these days it is so easy for readers to write their response to anything in the comment section. Whether you are posting it on social media, whether your magazine is an online portal, or you are writing it for a newspaper, everywhere these days there is a comment section available. Why don't you talk to your readers? Have their feedback. How did you write? Maybe some readers watch the play and then correlate it with your review. They will be able to give you certain feedback, like where did you go wrong in writing, where were you right in writing. So these kinds of things are always very exciting, and this means that we are continuously in the process of engaging with audience, engaging with our community people, community as in the theatre community, and which means that you are in a totally immersive experience, and you are learning to imbibe and absorb into the world of theatre with such fullness, that anything that you write is therefore definitely a word of sincerity. So this dialogue and discussion is going to help you a lot. Then, how to give constructive feedback and critique. Now, focus on specific observations. Provide specific observations and examples to support your critique. Avoid general statements, vague statements, it was too bad, it was too sloppy. It was like, what is sloppy? What is bad? What bored you? What irritated you? What made you upset? What you found lacking in quality? So you need to be specific, because then it's a sweeping generalization, and sweeping generalization is of no value. So point out particular moments. Maybe you want to highlight those. If you say it was wonderful, so what was wonderful? If you have an example to say, then people really have trust in you as the reviewer. So look at those moments, the performative highs and lows in the entire process, the aspects of the production that illustrate your feedback. So illustrations from the text of performance are very important for positive feedback, constructive feedback. You can also offer suggestions. You can also offer solutions to your people, to whom you are writing or to whom you are responding to, because you can simply point out and go away and just get it published. But what about encouraging somebody to overcome the shortcomings? What about making people understand the work of art in a finer way? Offer constructive suggestions, solutions for improvements, because that is an actionable feedback, a feedback which can be transformed into some kind of concrete actions. This helps artists, this helps directors, designers, this helps the whole community. So, being a critic is not just somebody who is standing on the margins and pointing out something as a good or bad. But a reviewer is somebody who lives amidst those people who he is writing for, reviewing for, uh, responding to, critiquing to, and he or she needs to be one of them. Maybe not in terms of doing the acting, doing the direction, doing the light, or writing the plays, but writing reviews also requires you to be one of the people of theatre. Then this also adds one more responsibility. Be respectful and courteous. Maintain a respectful and courteous tone in your feedback, avoiding personal attacks or derogatory language. Remember that a critique should be directed at the work itself, not at the individuals involved in its creation. People are these days writing reviews under the influence of various kinds of things. They are guided by personalities of actors or personalities of directors, and that makes them write about something which they should not write. So, this medium is theatre. We are working for theatre. A reviewer is working for theatre. A reviewer is a cultural activist. How can you serve culture? How can you serve theatre? By being somebody's admirer, a personal admirer, or a personal critic, having grudges or having admiration, adulation. That, I think, should not blind your eyes when you are writing. So, not personality oriented, work oriented reviews are what you need. Consider the artist's perspective. Look at the artist's perspective also, because after all, you are working for art, you are working for theatre, which is art. So if you don't look at artist's perspective at all, just your reviewer's perspective, then also you are missing out a lot from the review. So intentions when offering feedback, recognizing the subjective nature of the artistic expression, and what choice, what decisions have been made by the creative team, you disagree with them, then also try to understand what may have been the reason behind those choices, what may have been the motivation for them to make these choices. Try to identify those kinds of things, discuss them, mention them. That will add a lot of quality to your review. Acknowledge subjectivity, as I already said, that if you know the person, or maybe recognize the different audience members which may have varied interpretations and responses to the same production, then try to see that certain set of people responded to a play in a certain manner because they had this issue or they had this correlation. Maybe family members have been invited to watch, maybe a room full of friends are sitting to watch, and what will their appreciation be, how will they react to a certain performance of their friend who's on stage. So you can acknowledge that kind of subjectivity if you come across such things. So offer your perspectives as one of the many possible viewpoints rather than as an absolute judgment, because for the same production different people will have different opinions. So try to give those different opinions, try to bring in all those aspects, because those aspects will add to your value of assessment, because you are not standing with one judgment, because reviewing is not judging. Provide context and framing means that when you are choosing a certain type of critique, then what are the goals of production, who were the target audience, and what was the artistic vision. These contexts have made a production possible. So situate your feedback within the broader context of the theatrical landscape and the specific aims of the performance. So this will give you an overall image and connection of the situation in which you are set as a reviewer to write about a production. Then encourage dialogue and reflection has already been indicated, but I am also trying to make you understand that dialogue through review is a process of mutual learning. How will you learn to be an admirer of theatre? Because it is a complete process where you mutually participate with each other. So encourage this responding to, reflecting about, discussing, having brainstorming sessions. This is crucial. Follow up and follow through. So follow up on your feedback by revisiting the production and assessing any changes or improvements that have been made in response to your critique. Because acknowledge and appreciation of this effort is a very important feedback, and it will continue to engage in dialogue with artists and audiences. So how your review has impacted the performers, what have they done in the production, compare the two productions and you can observe what has happened. You can also go behind the scene, you can also go in the rehearsals and see like if there is something which is going on because you suggested something about the production quality or critiqued or gave an idea or responded to. So this is a follow-up and follow-through process. Reviewers can do this. Very few reviewers are able to do these things because it needs a lot of effort and attention. But good reviewers do this because they are all the time surrounded by the world that they want to exist in. That is the world of theatre. Overall, you are enhancing growth and evolution. Enhance the growth and evolution that comes from giving and receiving constructive feedback. Learn to develop it, learn to make it grow, learn to push for the growth and feedback of people. View a critique as an opportunity for continuous learning, development and refinement in the pursuit of artistic excellence. It should never be a personal fight or grudge or criticism of irrational nature, but any place, any juncture of critique should be only an opportunity for people to feel fearless and talk with each other without any inhibitions in order to just improve what they are doing, develop what they are doing and refine it to a best level. So it's so important, people have had creative differences with each other, and these creative differences are taken by people so seriously that they never work with each other. What can be more harmful than this, that two creative people are not able to coexist? Because theater is all about coexistence, theater is all about inclusivity, and if that kind of thing is not being followed, although I understand that all of us are humans and humanly it is not possible for theater people to be the best of people, they cannot be angels, we cannot expect very idealized kind of behavior from them, superhuman kind of qualities. But what I'm simply propagating here is trying to be professional in our behavior. Come what may, we will sit together at the end of the process and talk it out. And that is what a reviewer's role is. Because when a reviewer instills this culture through his work or her work, then this culture can emanate to next level of production process. And everywhere the idea of discussion and debate can be taken further. Now, how can you practice writing theatre reviews? You can attend diverse productions, attend a variety of theatre productions across different genres, different styles, different scales, small plays, big productions, professional, amateur, big city, small city, different cultures, different languages. Try to do a variety of participation. Expose yourself to diverse performance cultures, because that will make you understand that storytelling is the most diverse motivation that motivates people to do wonders on stage. Take detailed notes during performances. You need to be habitual of watching meaningfully, enjoying it, and at the same time taking the notes down. Develop that habit. It's a habit. You need to cultivate it as a reviewer. Acting, staging, set design, lighting, sound, all things need to be observed by you while you are noting it down, because these notes will serve as valuable reference points when you are crafting your review, one. And the second is that when you are recalling your whole experience of watching the play, viewing that play, the moments that came and went will be there recorded in the form of those points that you have written in your notes. Otherwise, it's not possible for you to recall everything that you felt in the play, because you felt something. There was this organic response from you. The light, the sound, the dialogue, the costume, something hit you, hurt you, touched you. You need to note it down. Evaluate acting and analyze storytelling and narrative structure. Analyze the plot development, character arcs, thematic elements, overall narrative coherence. How coherent is the narrative? How things are seamlessly woven with each other or not woven seamlessly with each other. Assess how well productions achieve their intended goals and resonate with the audience. So the goals need to be clear in your mind. The achievement of those goals will decide the success of the production, the relative success of the production for you as a reviewer. Evaluate acting, performance, how actors are doing their work, how they are conveying emotions, engaging with the audience, what is the chemistry between the different characters on stage, how one individual's performance is impacting the entire stage, entire production quality. All this has to be kept in your mind. Then the technical analysis must never be left out. So participate in it. Costume design, lighting, train yourself, educate yourself, read about it, learn about it more, assess these things, how are these things done, maintained, because in order to assess it, you need to know it. It's as simple as that. Then other actions that you can compare different productions, compare them, contrast them, identify common themes between them, trends, patterns between the different kinds of productions, draw comparisons between productions of the same play done by different kinds of companies, how the nuances have been articulated, then express that in your critique. Write draft of your review and seek feedback. It's very, very helpful, like any other writing. What is the language, how structure is, how is the argument, how are the arguments expressed, can you refine it a bit more, have some mentors, maybe somebody can help you around. You can also take professional help. Experiment with different styles of writing. The writing style, as I said, you can develop it in the long run, but to begin with, you can be very formal, you can be very clear with crisp sentences, simple language, straightforward expressions, honest and genuine, sincerity. All these things can be there. Personal writing voice can be developed, then people will identify you, your personality will be represented. So develop versatility. You're writing a certain kind of reviews for a certain magazine. Write it, maybe your magazine, your style is different, your portal is different. Maybe when you write it for your channel, for your work, it sounds different, but you when write it for a different magazine, you sound different. So that kind of versatility is also there. Then also go for reviewing platforms where you can share your work, where dedicated to theatre reviews people are there, forums are there which can help you share reviews, engage with discussion, learn from their reviews, how samples are available. So do that kind of thing. And look at your journey, how you have evolved. Always compare your drafts written in 2 years back, 6 months back to what you are writing now. That will give you your evolution, how you are working. Are you developing? Is your art going in the right direction? Are you going in the right direction? So these are other things that you can do to have self-reflection and continuous learning. Stay open to new experiences. Don't have apprehensions. Have some new kind of writing style, explore it. Maybe you click it the right way. So go for these kinds of things in your own way. Then these are some recommended websites for theatre critique resources: Broadway World, the New York Times Theatre section, the Guardian Stage, American Theatre Magazine. These offer you different kinds of comprehensive sources for staying updated on major theatre events, community engagement, discussions, having critical perspectives on diverse range of productions, and also they also act as valuable resource for professionals and enthusiasts. So you can keep connected where these resources are available. Then some more are like The Stage, which is a platform which provides news, reviews, features. It is a very important thing for aspiring artists and professionals. London Theatre Reviews. So you can click these things, go out there, find something of your own interest, keep navigating in the digital space, the content that is available on media, social platforms. Look at these some more resources like Theatre Criticism and Scholarship, London Theatre One, Theatre Mania. So all these websites are helping you in developing yourself as a reviewer. I believe that being a reviewer is a very important thing. You can try it, I'm sure, and you can try it in all languages. That is the most important thing that I must mention. Hindi, Urdu, Punjabi, Tamil, Telugu, Kashmiri, Kannada, Marathi, Gujarati, Konkani, Odia, any language, try it, because this is very exciting. At the worst, what is it that you are going to lose? Nothing. So why not give it a try? It is the most interesting and most exciting type of creative writing that you can do. I do not consider review writing as just critical writing. It is also a creative writing. It is an amalgam of various kinds of writing. It makes you a stylist. It makes you a stylistic writer. It makes you a creative writer. It gives you a connection to the world of theatre. It makes you a lover of aesthetics. It makes you an admirer of beauty. And above all, it makes you understand the nuances of language. It makes you understand other people's opinions. That's what being a reviewer is. So this is it from this lecture. I hope you have understood that I am trying to give you various perspectives of theatre so that you can choose to grow in any direction that you want. So thank you for now. I hope you like this. See you in some different discussion. That's it.